Why do most people struggle to understand Sigma males? It's a question that exposes a raw nerve in human dynamics, because as the thumbnail declares, people can't handle Sigmas, and the reasons are far darker than mere social awkwardness. Society runs on predictability, the invisible scripts that slot us into roles like alpha leaders, beta followers, and gamma conformists. We're conditioned to seek validation, wield influence, or dissolve into the background, all following rules as ancient as tribal fires. These patterns let us navigate hierarchies, build alliances, and avoid existential dissonance. But what happens when someone refuses the script? Sigma males don't rebel against the system, they ghost it. They neither chase power like alphas nor cling to safety like betas, operating instead like social phantoms who defy categorization. This isn't defiance for show, it's an existential bypass of the entire social operating system. Psychologists confirm our brains are hardwired to decode predictable behaviors, it's how we survive. Yet Sigmas scramble that code, leaving others stranded without a map. Consider your mental toolbox for handling people: flatter alphas, reassure betas, guide deltas. But Sigmas? They're bulletproof to these tactics. Praise doesn't inflate them, pressure doesn't crack them. Status symbols? Meaningless. Tribal belonging? Irrelevant. This isn't arrogance, it's a rewired value system. Sigmas move to a rhythm only they hear, their motives hidden, their loyalty untethered from external validation. This dissonance isn't just puzzling, it's existentially threatening. For most, interacting with a Sigma feels like staring into a cognitive void. They don't avoid social games, they don't even acknowledge the stadium. Not aloof, not rebellious, just absent. Their silence isn't a tactic but a symptom of existing outside the hive mind. That autonomy grants power, fierce independence, unfiltered authenticity, but isolates them in a world desperate to label, control, and predict. This isn't about hierarchy or moral superiority. It's about cognitive rupture, the moment your social algorithms crash against someone who's literally off the grid. In the next minutes, we'll dissect 6 traits that make Sigma society's uncrackable enigma. From their indifference to power struggles to their terrifying self-sufficiency, we'll reveal why they destabilize every system they touch, and why most people flee from that truth. So stick around as we dive into this fascinating topic right here on the Sigma male community. Reason 1, they don't have the alpha's ego, nor the beta's need. Sigma males don't seek attention, validation, or control like alphas. Unlike alphas, who often thrive on being the focal point of any group, Sigma males have no interest in dominating the social scene or basking in the glow of admiration. Alphas tend to measure their worth by how much influence they wield or how many eyes are on them, feeding off the energy of a room they command. Sigma males, by contrast, find such pursuits exhausting and unnecessary. They're not here to lead the charge or rally the troops, they'd rather pursue their own path quietly, without the fanfare. This disinterest in the spotlight often leaves others puzzled, especially in environments where visibility equals power, as Sigmas seem to effortlessly sidestep the game entirely. They don't crave approval like betas. Betas often navigate life seeking a nod of acceptance, bending their words or actions to align with the group's expectations. Their sense of security hinges on being liked or included, prompting them to smooth over conflicts or mirror those around them. Sigma males reject this approach outright. They don't adjust their sails to catch the winds of approval, standing firm in their own identity instead. This self-contained confidence can come across as cold or distant to those who equate friendliness with social success, but for Sigmas, the absence of that neediness is liberating. It frees them from the constant pressure to perform for others' validation. They rely on themselves and live life on their own terms. Sigma males are the architects of their own existence, crafting lives that reflect their personal principles rather than bowing to external blueprints. While society might nudge people toward predefined roles, climb the corporate ladder, settle down, join the club, Sigmas carve out their own unconventional niches. They might choose a minimalist lifestyle, dive into a passion project, or forego traditional milestones altogether, all because these choices resonate with their inner compass. This self-reliance isn't just practical, it's a statement of sovereignty, a refusal to let the world dictate their direction, which can inspire admiration or spark envy in those tethered to convention. This independence makes them unpredictable and hard for others to understand. Because Sigma males don't play by the usual rules, their next move is rarely obvious. One day they might be deeply engaged in a project, the next they're off the grid, chasing a whim no one saw coming. This fluidity defies the patterns most people rely on to categorize others. Alphas lead, betas follow, but Sigmas? They just do their own thing. To someone expecting a clear role or predictable behavior, this can feel disorienting, even maddening. Their independence isn't a rebellion against society, it's simply a natural state of being, but that very authenticity makes them an enigma to those who thrive on structure. Reason 2, they don't get intimidated by authority or titles. Unlike most people, Sigma males see through superficial power displays. While many are quick to bow before a flashy title or a show of wealth, Sigma males aren't dazzled by the smoke and mirrors. They've got a knack for peeling back the layers of pomp and circumstance to see what's really underneath, a skill honed by their focus on substance over style. A big office or a booming voice might sway the crowd, but Sigmas remain unmoved, questioning whether the emperor's new clothes are worth the hype. This clarity can throw off those who lean on their status as a crutch, exposing the fragility of power built on appearances alone. They judge others by actions and character, not titles or positions. For Sigma males, a person's worth isn't stamped on their resume or etched into their nameplate, it's revealed in what they do and how they carry themselves. They'll size up a leader not by their rank but by their integrity, watching for consistency between words and deeds. A high-flying executive who cuts corners gets no more respect than a humble worker who shows grit and honesty. This focus on character over credentials can unsettle those who've climbed the ladder expecting automatic reverence, as Sigmas quietly rewrite the rules of esteem in real time. They treat everyone equally, regardless of rank. Sigma males don't bend their demeanor to match someone's place on the totem pole. They'll chat with a barista with the same warmth, or cool detachment, they'd offer a boardroom titan, seeing no need to adjust for hierarchy's sake. This leveling of the playing field stems from a belief that every person's value isn't tied to their station but to their humanity. In settings where kissing the ring is standard practice, this equal footing can feel like a radical act, dismantling the unspoken pecking order and leaving status-conscious folks grasping for their usual leverage. This lack of intimidation frustrates those accustomed to automatic respect. Authority figures often bank on their position to command obedience without question, but Sigma males don't play that game. They'll challenge a directive if it doesn't hold water, not out of defiance but because blind deference isn't in their DNA. This can spark friction with those who see their title as a free pass to loyalty, as Sigma's steady gaze forces them to back up their clout with real substance. The tension isn't personal, it's just the natural fallout of a mindset that bows to reason, not rank, leaving traditional power players scrambling to reassert control. Reason 3, they're brutally honest, leaving others exposed and uncomfortable. Sigma males reject the social norm of white lies. Where most people sprinkle little fibs to grease the wheels of interaction, "You look great," or "I'd love to." Sigma males see no point in the charade. They'd rather call it like they see it than pad the truth with fluff, even if that means ruffling feathers. This isn't about cruelty, it's about cutting through the noise to keep things real. In a world where diplomacy often trumps candor, their refusal to sugarcoat can feel like a splash of cold water, waking up those lulled by the comfort of half-truths. They offer raw truth instead of sugar-coated responses. Ask a Sigma male for feedback, and you won't get a cushioned critique, they'll hand you the unvarnished facts, no chaser. They skip the preamble and platitudes, delivering insights with a sharpness that can sting if you're not braced for it. While others might soften a "no" with excuses or drape criticism in praise, Sigmas strip it down to essentials. This bluntness can be a gift to those who crave clarity, but for anyone expecting a gentle letdown, it's a jolt that leaves them reeling. Their honesty stems from respect and a belief that hiding the truth is harmful. Sigma males don't wield truth like a weapon, they see it as a duty. To them, dodging hard realities disrespects both the listener and the integrity of the exchange, potentially setting people up for bigger falls later. They'd rather you face the music now than stumble blindly into trouble down the line. This principled stance can clash with a culture that prizes comfort over confrontation, making their honesty a tough pill for those who'd rather swallow soothing fictions. This directness shocks people used to polite social scripts. Everyday chatter often runs on autopilot. Can responses and rehearsed niceties keep things predictable and safe? Sigma males derail that train, answering with a frankness that slices through the script. When someone expects a "fine, thanks," but gets a detailed rundown of what's really going on, it can leave them exposed, unsure how to pivot back to familiar ground. This break from routine isn't meant to unsettle, it's just how Sigmas roll, but it can turn a casual encounter into an unexpected reckoning. Reason 4, they don't care about being liked, they care about respect. Most people adjust their behavior to be liked. Humans are social creatures, often tweaking their tone or stance to win a smile or a friend. It's a dance of compromise, laugh at the bad joke, nod at the shaky idea, all to keep the vibes pleasant and the connections intact. Sigma males sit this one out. They don't reshape themselves to fit the mold of likable, choosing instead to stand firm in their own skin, even if it means rubbing someone the wrong way. This refusal to pander can feel like a rejection of the social contract to those who live by it. Sigma males prioritize earning genuine respect over popularity. While being the crowd's favorite might feel good in the moment, Sigma males aim for something deeper, respect rooted in who they are, not how well they charm. They'd rather be known for their backbone than their banter, building a reputation on actions and authenticity rather than applause. This shift in focus can baffle those who see likability as the ultimate currency, as Sigmas trade short-term grins for a lasting nod of acknowledgement from those who get it. They stay true to themselves, even if it means clashing with others. Sigma males don't flinch at friction if it's the cost of staying real. They'll voice an unpopular opinion or walk away from a bad fit, unfazed by the fallout, because aligning with their core matters more than keeping the peace. This resolve can cast them as outliers, or even adversaries, in groups that prize harmony over honesty. Yet, for Sigmas, that solitude is a fair price for not diluting who they are, a stance that can quietly command or even from their detractors. Paradoxically, their indifference to being liked often garners more respect. By not chasing the crowd's favor, Sigma males project a rare confidence that draws its own gravity. People might not warm to them instantly, but over time, their unwavering consistency and lack of pretense earn a grudging admiration. Those who scramble for approval often find their efforts fade, while Sigmas, simply by being themselves, leave a mark that lingers. It's a twist that can irk the people-pleasers, who see Sigmas reaping what they sow without even trying. Reason 5, they don't act impressed by fake compliments. Sigma males can spot insincere praise instantly. They've got a built-in radar for flattery that's more agenda than appreciation, picking up on the subtle cues, the forced smile, the too quick, great job, that others might miss. They don't buy into hollow words meant to butter them up or grease a favor, seeing right through the veneer to the motive beneath. This discernment keeps them grounded, but it can also make them seem standoffish to those tossing out praise like confetti, expecting a grateful grin in return. They don't offer fake compliments themselves. Sigma males don't play the game of trading empty accolades for social points. If they say something nice, it's because they mean it, full stop. They're not here to inflate egos or smooth over awkward silences with throwaway lines. Their words carry weight because they're sparse and sincere. This restraint can throw off people who thrive on the back and forth of casual flattery, leaving them unsure how to bridge the gap with someone who won't toss them an easy lifeline. They prefer authenticity over social flattery. For Sigma males, interactions should have meat on their bones, real talk, not polished pleasantries. They'd rather wrestle with a tough truth than coast on a wave of feel-good nonsense, valuing depth over the shallow shine of compliments. This preference for the genuine can make their company intense, even intimidating, as they sidestep the small talk that lubricates most social gears. To those who lean on flattery to navigate life, this feels like a wall they can't climb. This rejection of empty words unsettles those who rely on compliments for validation. Many folks fuel their self-worth with a steady drip of praise, real or not, using it to prop up their confidence or status. When a Sigma male shrugs off their "you're amazing" with a blank stare or a "thanks, but why," it yanks that crutch away. The discomfort isn't intentional, it's just the ripple effect of Sigmas refusing to fuel the cycle of fake esteem. For those tethered to external boosts, this can leave them adrift, questioning their footing in a way they're not used to. Reason 6, they're unpredictable. Sigma males don't follow typical social patterns. While most people slot into familiar rhythms, work hard, play nice, climb high, Sigma males zigzag across the map. They might dive into a passion one month and ghost the scene the next, guided by an internal logic that doesn't sync with the standard playbook. This refusal to march in step with the crowd makes them outliers, defying the boxes society likes to check. To onlookers expecting a straight line, their winding path looks like chaos or brilliance, depending on the lens. Their actions are hard to anticipate or control. Sigma males move like wildcards, slipping out of grasp just when you think you've got them pegged. You can't nudge them with guilt or herd them with trends. They'll nod, then do exactly what they planned anyway. This elusiveness stems from a mind that doesn't bend to outside pressure, leaving friends, foes, and bosses alike scratching their heads. For anyone who likes their world tidy and predictable, Sigmas are a curveball that keeps on curving. They respond based on their own reasoning, not societal expectations. Every choice a Sigma male makes filters through their own lens. Does it make sense to them? Does it fit their code? They're not swayed by "everyone's doing it" or "that's just how it's done," opting instead for what holds up under their scrutiny. This self-directed compass can lead them down roads others wouldn't dream of, from unconventional careers to solitary retreats. It's a freedom that fascinates some and flusters others who can't fathom a life untethered from the norm. Their natural independence throws off standard manipulation tactics. Try pulling a Sigma's strings with flattery, shame, or peer pressure, and you'll hit a brick wall. They don't buckle under emotional ploys or fold to fit the group's sway, because their anchor's bolted to their own reasoning, not anyone else's script. This immunity makes them a puzzle, or a threat, to those who rely on predictable reactions to steer people. The harder you push, the more they dig in, turning the tables on would-be puppeteers with a quiet, unshakable resolve. Hey, you, yeah, the one watching this right now, I see you out there. You've made it through 6 reasons why Sigma males shake up the world, and I'm betting you're hooked, maybe even spotting some of these traits in yourself. That's why I'm asking you to stick with me every day, right here on the Sigma male community. This isn't just a video series, it's a conversation, a place where guys like you can dive deeper, challenge the usual nonsense, and figure out what it means to live life on your terms. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and meet me back here tomorrow. I've got more to unpack, and I want you in on it. Imagine us kicking back, face to face, no scripts, just real talk. I'm here cutting through the noise for you, dropping insights that hit different, stuff you won't get from the typical motivational fluff. The Sigma male community is your spot, and I'm showing up daily with fresh angles and straight-up answers. Make it part of your routine, swing by, see what's new, and let's keep this going. You've got questions brewing, I've got thoughts to share, and together we're building something solid. So, don't just watch, join me every day and let's figure this out, man to man. Listen, I know your time's tight, tons of videos out there begging for your click. But here's the thing, every time you tune into the Sigma male community, you're not just scrolling, you're leveling up. We're packing real wisdom into these clips, stuff you can carry with you while you're out there grinding. Skip a day, and you might miss the one piece that flips how you see things. So, lock it in, subscribe, smash that bell, and let's make this a daily deal. You're not just a viewer, you're part of this crew now, and I'm stoked to see you back here tomorrow for more. Reason 7, their self-confidence isn't fragile, it's fortified. Sigma males don't chase fleeting ego boosts, their confidence grows from tangible mastery. While many inflate their self-worth with hot air, compliments, status symbols, fleeting wins, Sigmas build theirs brick by brick, each new skill adding to a solid foundation. They don't need applause to know they've leveled up, the quiet satisfaction of competence is its own reward. This isn't the showy self-assurance of an alpha vying for attention, nor the shaky validation-seeking of a beta, it's a deep-seated certainty forged in the fires of self-improvement. For those who rely on external props to feel good about themselves, this internally fueled confidence can seem alien, even intimidatingly secure, as it hints at a self-reliance they haven't cultivated. This robust self-assurance disrupts the typical social dynamics of ego management and status seeking. Most people operate on a subtle economy of validation, offering and receiving ego strokes to maintain social harmony and their own sense of worth. Sigma males, however, are outside this system. Their self-confidence isn't dependent on external affirmation, making them immune to the usual levers of social influence, flattery, intimidation, or the promise of approval. This can be deeply unsettling to those accustomed to navigating social landscapes through these subtle ego trades, as they find their usual tactics ineffective against someone whose self-worth is anchored internally, not externally. Consequently, this self-sufficient confidence can be misinterpreted, often projected onto Sigma males as arrogance or aloofness. People used to the constant hum of ego-driven social interaction struggle to understand a demeanor that doesn't participate in this game. The Sigma male's quiet assurance isn't a boast, it's simply a state of being, yet in a world where confidence is so often performative, genuine self-possession can be mistaken for superiority. This misinterpretation further isolates Sigma males, as others, feeling subtly challenged or misunderstood by their inherent self-reliance, may withdraw or react defensively, unable to grasp a confidence that isn't constantly seeking external validation. Reason 8, their social connections are earned, not manufactured. Sigma males don't network for the sake of climbing ladders or filling rooms, their social circles expand organically through shared passions. Where most people meticulously cultivate contacts for future gain, Sigmas connect with others who genuinely resonate with their interests and pursuits. These aren't transactional relationships built on mutual backscratching, they are bonds forged in the trenches of shared learning or the camaraderie of kindred spirits. This authenticity is a far cry from the forced smiles and strategic handshakes that grease the wheels of typical social maneuvering. For those who measure social success by the breadth of their Rolodex, these genuine, passion-driven connections can feel exclusive and unsettling, revealing the hollowness of manufactured social capital. This genuine approach to connection contrasts sharply with the performative networking that dominates many social and professional circles, leaving those invested in superficial connections feeling exposed. In a world where "it's who you know" often trumps what you know, Sigma males prioritize the what and let the who follow naturally. They bypass the carefully constructed facades and calculated exchanges that define much of modern networking, seeking instead authentic resonance and shared purpose. This can feel like a subtle critique of those who meticulously cultivate their contact lists, implying that their manufactured connections lack the depth and substance of bonds forged through genuine shared interest and endeavor. The exclusivity of these earned connections can further alienate those accustomed to broader, but shallower, social strategies. Sigma males aren't seeking mass appeal or wide-ranging social influence, their focus is on depth over breadth, quality over quantity. This selectivity can be perceived as rejection by those who value inclusivity and broad social acceptance. The Sigma male's contentment with a smaller, more tightly knit circle, built on genuine connection rather than social obligation, can be interpreted as aloofness or even disdain for wider social circles, further contributing to the sense that they operate outside the usual social norms and are therefore difficult to relate to. Reason 9, their enhanced intellect becomes intimidatingly sharp. Sigma males already possess a keen intellect, and learning new skills only hones it to a finer edge. While most people coast on autopilot, content with the familiar ruts of thought, Sigmas actively sharpen their minds, pushing their cognitive boundaries. This isn't about collecting trivia or displaying academic credentials, it's about expanding their mental agility, their capacity for problem solving, and the sheer incisiveness of their thinking. This intellectual growth amplifies their already sharp perception, making them even harder to deceive or manipulate with flimsy logic. For those who rely on bluster or shallow arguments to win debates, this enhanced intellect can feel like a laser beam cutting through their carefully constructed facades, leaving them intellectually exposed. This intellectual sharpness can be particularly unsettling in everyday interactions, as it disrupts the comfortable ambiguity and gentle intellectual compromises that grease social gears. Many conversations rely on unspoken agreements to overlook logical fallacies, politely ignore intellectual inconsistencies, and prioritize social harmony over rigorous accuracy. Sigma males, with their honed intellect, are less inclined to participate in these comfortable intellectual fictions. Their tendency to seek clarity and logic can unintentionally expose the intellectual laziness or superficiality of others' thinking, creating discomfort and defensiveness in those accustomed to a less demanding intellectual landscape. Furthermore, this enhanced intellect often leads to a communication style that prioritizes precision and conciseness, further alienating those used to more diffuse and emotionally driven exchanges. Sigma males, valuing intellectual efficiency, often cut through verbal fluff and emotional appeals to get to the core of an issue. This directness, while intellectually admirable, can be perceived as cold, dismissive, or even arrogant in social settings where communication often serves to build rapport and manage emotions as much as to convey information. The Sigma male's intellectual focus can thus be seen as a social liability, creating a communication gap that further isolates them from those who prioritize social comfort over intellectual rigor. Reason 10, their adaptability makes them uncontrollably fluid. Sigma males are already masters of charting their own course, and their growing adaptability makes them even more resistant to being pinned down. While most people crave stability and predictable routines, Sigmas thrive in flux, welcoming change as another landscape to navigate. Each new skill is a tool added to their kit, increasing their versatility and making them even harder to categorize or control. This isn't just about professional agility, it's a fundamental mindset of embracing the unknown and thriving in chaos. For those who seek to manage or direct others through structured systems and predictable responses, this inherent adaptability is deeply frustrating. Like trying to grasp water, the more you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. This inherent fluidity undermines attempts to categorize and define Sigma males within conventional social or professional frameworks, making them frustratingly elusive to those who rely on such structures. People are accustomed to understanding others through labels, roles, and predictable patterns of behavior. Sigma males, however, defy easy categorization, seamlessly shifting between roles, interests, and environments with an adaptability that throws these preconceived frameworks into disarray. This resistance to definition can be deeply unsettling for those who rely on clear social hierarchies and predictable roles to navigate their world, as it challenges their fundamental understanding of social order and control. The discomfort with this unpredictable nature extends to personal relationships, as Sigma males resist being easily controlled or manipulated within interpersonal dynamics. People often seek a degree of predictability in their relationships, relying on established patterns and expectations to feel secure. However, the Sigma male's adaptability means they are less likely to conform to these preset roles or predictable responses. Their decisions are guided by their internal compass, not by external pressure or social expectations, making them resistant to emotional manipulation and frustratingly difficult to manage in relationships built on control or dependency. This emotional autonomy, born from adaptability, can be perceived as instability or detachment by those who crave predictability and control in their interactions. Reason 11, their creativity unleashes unconventional chaos. Sigma males are already wired to think outside the box, and acquiring new skills ignites their creative potential to disruptive levels. While most people color within the lines of established norms, Sigmas see new skills as playgrounds for innovation, pushing boundaries and forging unexpected connections. This isn't about artistic flair for its own sake, it's about a fundamental shift in perspective, unlocking new ways to approach problems and envision possibilities. This unleashed creativity can lead them down paths that are not only unconventional but also potentially unsettling to the status quo. For those who value order and predictability, this surge of unconventional creativity feels like a wild card thrown into the deck, threatening to disrupt the comfortable game they're used to playing. This unconventional creativity often manifests as a rejection of established methods and a questioning of accepted norms, which can be perceived as disruptive and even threatening by those invested in maintaining the status quo. In many environments, conformity and adherence to established procedures are valued above all else. Sigma males, driven by their creative impulse, are more likely to challenge these conventions, proposing novel solutions and questioning the underlying assumptions that others take for granted. This inherent questioning of how things are always done can be deeply unsettling to those who find comfort and security in established routines and traditional approaches, as it introduces uncertainty and challenges the validity of their own established perspectives. Furthermore, this unleashed creativity can lead Sigma males down paths that are not only unconventional but also potentially isolating. Their innovative approaches and unique perspectives may not be readily understood or appreciated by those who think within more conventional frameworks. This can result in Sigma males feeling like outsiders, misunderstood or even actively resisted by those who are uncomfortable with their divergent thinking. The very creativity that empowers them to see possibilities others miss can also become a source of friction and alienation, further solidifying their position outside the mainstream and contributing to the perception that they are difficult to handle within conventional social or professional settings. Reason 12, their expanding opportunities highlight conventional traps. Sigma males may not chase traditional career milestones, but their ever-growing skill set opens doors to a universe of opportunities that conventional paths often obscure. While most people diligently climb predefined ladders, measuring success by titles and salaries, Sigmas see new skills as keys to unlock self-defined ventures and purpose-driven pursuits. This isn't about resume padding or corporate advancement, it's about crafting a life that aligns with their intrinsic values, even if it diverges wildly from societal expectations. This ability to forge their own opportunities, often bypassing the well-trodden paths, can be deeply unsettling to those who have bought into the conventional definition of success. This divergent path and broadened horizon of opportunities implicitly question the sacrifices and compromises many make in pursuit of conventional success, creating discomfort and even resentment in those heavily invested in those paths. People who have dedicated years to climbing a corporate ladder or adhering to societal expectations may find the Sigma male's ability to create their own opportunities, often bypassing these structures entirely, to be a subtle but pointed critique of their own choices. This can trigger feelings of inadequacy or question the validity of their own life paths, leading to defensiveness or a dismissal of the Sigma male's unconventional approach. The implied freedom and self-determination of the Sigma male can highlight the perceived constraints and potential regrets within more conventional life choices. The very existence of these self-created opportunities challenges the scarcity mindset that often drives conventional career anxieties and competitive behaviors, further unsettling those trapped within those systems. Many operate under the assumption that opportunities are limited and that success requires climbing over others to reach the top. Sigma males, by demonstrating the capacity to generate their own opportunities through skill acquisition and unconventional thinking, effectively dismantle this scarcity myth. This can be deeply unsettling to those who have internalized this competitive worldview, as it suggests that the anxieties and compromises they have accepted as necessary might be based on a flawed premise, revealing the constructed nature of the very systems they are striving to succeed within. As our exploration of the Sigma male archetype concludes, let us not merely categorize or analyze, but truly absorb the lessons offered by this often misunderstood individual. The Sigma male isn't simply another box to tick in the taxonomy of personality, they are a vibrant, living testament to the multifaceted nature of human expression. Where the alpha seeks dominion and the beta seeks belonging, the Sigma exists in a realm sculpted by their own internal architecture. They do not lead through forceful command, nor do they find solace solely in the embrace of the collective. Instead, their path is self-authored, their direction dictated by a compass calibrated to a frequency beyond the clamor of societal expectation. They are, in essence, quiet cartographers of their own lives, mapping terrains uncharted by the common desire for external validation, demonstrating that influence can be wielded not through grand pronouncements but through the understated power of self-possession. Throughout this discourse, we have illuminated the defining contours of the Sigma ethos, a principled rejection of imposed hierarchies, a cultivated serenity within solitude, and an unwavering commitment to authentic living amidst a culture often intoxicated by conformity. But to merely define is to limit. Our purpose here extends beyond labeling and decoding. It is to discern the wisdom embedded within their way of being. The Sigma male's existence challenges the very foundations upon which we construct our understanding of strength, success, and human connection. In a world predisposed to binary thinking, where we readily categorize and judge based on superficial metrics, the Sigma emerges as a potent reminder of the vast spectrum of human potential. Their way of being compels us to interrogate our own assumptions, prompting a re-evaluation of what truly constitutes a life well lived, and hinting that societal accolades are but a faint echo compared to the profound resonance of inner integrity. Consider the deeper implications that ripple outward from the Sigma male's seemingly enigmatic stance. Their very presence can feel disruptive, even disconcerting, to those who find comfort in neatly defined roles and predictable societal scripts. This is because the Sigma, by their inherent nature, refuses to be a passive player in preordained games. Their reluctance to conform, their quiet rebellion against the expected, can be perplexing to those who have internalized the rules and rewards of conventional engagement. Yet, it is precisely within this divergence, this seeming unreadability, that their true significance emerges. They compel us to look beyond the surface, to question the automatic acceptance of fitting in as the ultimate aim. They subtly challenge us to consider if perhaps, at times, the truest measure of fortitude lies not in assimilation, but in the courageous act of standing apart. They silently pose a vital question to the modern soul: what transformative potential might be unlocked if we, too, dared to cultivate a fraction of this quietude, this steadfast self-reliance? What horizons might expand if we lessened our dependence on external benchmarks and instead learned to heed the wisdom of our own deeply rooted instincts? Therefore, as we bring this exploration to its close, let us not merely tolerate the Sigma males in our spheres, but actively celebrate their unique contribution to the human tapestry. Let us transcend the urge to view them as mere anomalies, outliers to be explained away or categorized neatly. Instead, let us perceive them as reflective surfaces, mirrors that reveal the intricate complexities inherent within human nature. They serve as a living counter-narrative, reminding us that individuality is not a deviation to be corrected or suppressed, but rather a powerful current, a vital force to be understood and, indeed, nurtured. In a societal landscape that too often values uniformity and consensus, the Sigma stands as a vibrant assertion of the power of self-direction. They demonstrate that authentic strength need not bellow or demand attention. It can reside in the quiet resilience of a solitary stance, in the unwavering commitment to one's own reasoned path. It is a strength that whispers rather than shouts, stands firm rather than postures, and ultimately possesses the quiet potency to reshape the very fabric of the game without ever seeking the spotlight. Let this deep dive into the Sigma male archetype serve as more than just an intellectual exercise. May it be a catalyst for introspection, prompting a genuine re-evaluation of our own lives and the values that guide them. Consider integrating the essence of this Sigma spirit, the self-possession, the reasoned independence, the quiet strength, into the contours of your own being. Perhaps the true value of understanding the Sigma male lies not in adopting the label, but in embracing the underlying virtues they embody: self-sufficiency, integrity, and a commitment to living in accordance with one's own reasoned principles. In a world often characterized by noise and external pressures, the Sigma offers a compelling counterpoint, a reminder that true power can be found in the quiet spaces of self-mastery and the unshakable resolve of an internally directed life. Thank you for embarking on this journey of discovery, for engaging with the nuanced landscape of the Sigma male community. It has been a voyage of illumination, celebrating not just a personality type, but the profound beauty inherent in unapologetic difference and the quiet strength of the unconventional path. If this exploration has resonated within you, if it has sparked new thoughts or stirred dormant reflections on your own path and values, I invite you to share those insights in the comments below. Let us continue this conversation, not as passive observers, but as active participants in understanding the rich tapestry of human nature. Until our paths converge again, I encourage you to remain curious, to hold fast to your own authentic truths, and perhaps, to allow a touch of that potent Sigma spirit to find its own quiet resonance within your life. Farewell, and until the next exploration, may you journey well.